1.2 million people in North Carolina are living with some form of diabetes. Do you know whether you are at risk? Durham Diabetes Coalition Health Education Specialist Chastity Newkirk is here along with Justin Thomas from the Eastern North Carolina American Diabetes Association. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So, why are the numbers going up so much?
Well, you know, there's a lot of lifestyle choices that are involved. We're noticing a lot of people that aren't properly taking care of themselves, and that means things like eating healthy, also getting exercise a few times a week. So it's really a lot of lifestyle choices that are involved when we're talking about diabetes type 2.
I heard someone describe it as the disease of affluence.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. You know, we're noticing a lot of socioeconomic factors and some things that people just, you know, are really letting get to them over time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay, there are 3 types of diabetes. Can you explain?
Yes, with type 1 diabetes, which was formerly referred to as juvenile onset, it's no longer referred to as that. But with that, it's an immuno disease where it just happens. There's no rhyme or reason. There's nothing you can do in order to prevent that. And primarily notice that in individuals under the age of 30.
Okay.
Then there's type 2 diabetes, which is the most prevalent. It really takes up about 85 to 90% of all diabetes cases. And so with that, that's where we're talking about those lifestyle choices of you know, your eating habits and then also your exercise habits. And there's also some genetic factors that we do think are involved with that as well. And then that third type would be gestational, one that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
But you know, for you and Chastity, that would be for you too. And it's a pregnancy onset diabetes.
Okay, and Chastity, there is a website that will help us determine whether we're at risk, right?
Yes, we have risk tests available on the Durham Diabetes Coalition website at durhamdiabetescoalition.org, and also the American Diabetes Association website has the risk tests available online for people to take.
And you have some events coming up that will help people get educated, right?
Yes, on Saturday, March the 22nd, we're having a diabetes health fair where we'll have risk tests available. We'll be doing screenings, having education, and a lot of resources for community members to find out their risks and get the help they need if they need help. And that event is free and open to the public.
What is the Take 2 for Type 2 campaign?
Take 2 for Type 2 is our campaign to encourage everyone to take 2 minutes out of their day to complete a diabetes risk test and find out their risk for Type 2 diabetes.
Very good. And Justin, we're talking about the numbers going up. When it comes to killers in our state, it ranks right up there near the top, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We're looking at a top 5 or 6 killer every single year. And then above that would be heart disease and also kidney disease, which can be complications of diabetes. And, you know, diabetes doesn't really get credit for those. So if you actually added in those cases, you know, we're looking at something that could be #1 in North Carolina every single year.
Can you share some advice, either of you, on what we can do as parents to maybe prevent our children? Because I know it's probably easier to deal with the earlier you start with preventing this in the lives of children.
Absolutely. I think that one thing that we can all do is, you know, begin exercising together. When we talk about these risk factors, you know, one of them just ask you plainly, do you exercise? And so that doesn't mean do you go to the gym. That means can you get out there and go on a walk maybe 3 or 4 times a week, you know? Also, we're talking about eating healthier. And so a lot of people, you know, they associate that with only eating greens and vegetables. We're also talking about portion control.
Right.
So you can still have, you know, some of those things that aren't as good for us. But if you notice watching those portions, it's really going to take a big effect on your life.
Okay, so we've got the tools. Now we just need to use them, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.